Hi, friends. It's Lisa Underwood. Thank you for being with me. In my life, I have had a lot of opportunities to practice courage. In 2011, after a series of about 5 life-changing events, I found myself seated across from a psychiatrist who was rapid firing questions at me with only yes or no answers. No why, no explanation. Just yes, no, yes, no. And at the end, he said, I think I know your diagnoses. I was like, there's more than one? Yes, the doctor explained. You do have a list. Mixed states bipolar 1, psychosis, seasonal features, ADHD, and anxiety. Needless to say, as a 31-year-old with 3 kids, with a full-time job, I was kind of shocked. He said, you're always going to have to be on medication the rest of your life. And as a massage therapist, that kind of frightened me because I was mostly into natural health care. Then when I got to my car and took a few moments to ponder about the shock, I thought, how am I going to tell my husband? Ugh. And then I had a scarier thought. 14 years earlier, my aunt, who was an involved, loving mother of 9 kids, when she was 48 years old, lost her life due to a mental illness. And I thought, that might be my future. In To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, a character, Atticus Finch, says, I wanted you to see what real courage is. It's when you know you're licked before you begin, but you begin anyway and see it through no matter what. And that's what I felt like, that I was going to have to see it through no matter what. I did start the medication, and things initially went well at first. I even titrated off the medication to have a child and then got back on and lived a pretty good life. I got involved in advocating with the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and that brought me a lot of joy. But I still heard many things. You'll never feel better than you are now. And I didn't want to accept that. One day when I was out garage sailing, I came across a CD by Norman Vincent Peale. And it was his book, The Power of Positive Thinking. And so I popped it into my CD case in my minivan, and anytime I drove the kids anywhere, I would listen to it. And there were a couple of the affirmations that really stuck out to me. One of them was, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And the other one was, I believe I am divinely guided. I believe I will always make the right turn. Armed with saying that every day, I came across a book called Med-Free Bipolar. And as I read it and studied it, I thought, that is something that I can do. And so after 5 years of taking medications, I chose to slowly, with the guidance of a medical doctor, titrate off my medications and start a med-free bipolar life. I did have some things going for me. I already had some of the nutrition down and some of the behaviors that I needed to change. And so that was very helpful. I am telling you, the real difference started when I believed that I was divinely guided and when I believed that I would always make the right turn. Does that mean I don't make mistakes and fall flat on my face? No. It just means that I have a higher power that wants me to succeed. And he wants you to succeed too. And I know that you can, whatever your path is, med-free or on medication. Creating a holistic health plan will help you better deal with the challenges of mental health. So what I learned from this experience, I did read the med-free bipolar book. I did have to fire my psychiatrist who diagnosed me and had treated me for 5 years and get one who was more open to me taking supplements and running blood tests that weren't conventional. And he helped me over a period of about 9 months to titrate off of 4 medications and go med-free. And that has been the best choice for me. I don't know what your choice will be, but I do believe that you will be divinely guided. So this is the formula that helped me to a healthier lifestyle is 1, believe. Say a declaration every day. So what I found after I listened to Norman Vincent Peale is that I would often say his affirmations. I believe that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I believe I am divinely guided. I believe I will always make the right turn. God is with me now. The one that stuck out most to me in my head was, I believe I will always make the right turn. For some reason in my life, I had started believing that I would always be punished for my mistakes, that I would be grounded down to the ground. And yes, you do fall flat on your face, but you know what you can do? If you'll always make the right turn, you can look at the bugs. You can brush yourself off, you can clean yourself up, and you can go again. Go again. Because just because you make a mistake, your life is not over. Just because you kind of scrapped a relationship by your bipolar behaviors doesn't mean it's over for good. You can change, you can forgive. The other person can change and forgive you, and your life can move forward. Might be a little slower, rebuilding trust and things like that, but I know it can happen. And that is what guided me to go med-free. I believed in myself, and I believed that I would be divinely guided. I do believe I was led to the med-free bipolar book that helped me out so much. I had read many books before, and I also believe that I was divinely guided to them. The book, it created education, always creates awareness. Awareness is so vital. Once you become aware of something, once you recognize something, then you can start taking steps to change. Once I was diagnosed with bipolar and had a clear list of my symptoms by using a mood tracker, then I was aware of what they were and how I could reduce or avoid them. So big fan of mood tracking. Taking action, yep, it takes effort to do a daily mood tracker. There's lots of good apps for that, or to make any changes, to change your diet, to change your thinking, anything like that. And another step I have for you is just get up again. You know, you will try some things. Like there was one mood tracker filling in tons of little boxes. It just didn't seem to work for me. I couldn't do it every day. So I found one that had dots where I could map out my month like this, you know, with a little chart. And that made a lot more sense for me and in my head. And later on, I found an app where I could input all of my symptoms, the auditory and persecutory hallucinations, the mixed states, and also the triggers. Keeping track of triggers, good thing. But I had to try several different things. Sometimes I fell, but you can always get up again. And even though I know things get hard, I've been there with you. I'm still there with you. You're not alone. It's difficult navigating a mental illness and trying to find out what works. But I do know a few things that have worked for me, and that's The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. You can probably find it on YouTube, and I would encourage you to listen to that. Being aware. What can I say about that? Just being aware of your moods, whether you're up, whether you're down. Being aware of your triggers so that you can avoid them or change something in your life to be able to deal with them. And then making an effort. You know, a lot of times when we're sitting across the desk from the psychiatrist with our first diagnosis, or if you've had it for a long time since you were a teenager, been diagnosed since you were a teenager or a kid, a lot of times the doctors and the world, the stigma of the world right now makes it seem like you don't have a choice and you can't do anything. And so that promotes you not to take any action or make any effort to getting better, because they said, I mean, at least my chiropractor, I do see a chiropractor, but my psychiatrist said, you will always be on medication. That doesn't have to be true for you. Maybe it does have to be true for you. However, that doesn't mean we shouldn't take action and effort toward other things. And then getting up, you know, be so gentle with yourself as you make mistakes and as you're figuring things out. If you're newly diagnosed, be patient. It takes, you know, 3 or 4 months to get used to the medication. It takes, you know, years. It took me a year to realize the cyclical nature of the mania, the mixed states, and the depression. I was more often in a manic state. And so I had to keep track of that, and that takes effort. That's your action. Doing those little things to become aware it'll pay out huge dividends. Just as one of those small and simple things that causes great things to happen, great realizations. You really need to do that. And then getting up again, please be gentle with yourself. So I invite you today to go ahead and find a declaration or an affirmation that you can say every day. You know, I had been saying the affirmation, I believe I am divinely guided, from June until October. And that's when I found the Med-Free Bipolar book. And I feel like part of that was that I believed that I would be guided and that I would make a right turn, and also letting go of, you know, making mistakes condemns you. It made a huge difference in my life and helps me be open to more learning and more opportunities, because if I knew if I made a mistake, that God would turn it right again somehow. It doesn't mean all the consequences are gone. No, not at all. It still means you have to change and improve and find out what you were doing wrong and how to remedy that. But it does give one a sense of hope, knowing that you will always make the right turn. So I leave you with this, and I encourage you to find an affirmation or declaration. I like to call them declarations because it's me giving instructions to my mind. I will be this way. This way will come about. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I am clear and conscious. I am balanced and inspired. I do act with boldness and courage. You can use ones like that or ones that are more natural to you. It doesn't matter. What matters is you saying them every day a few times and thinking about that, because it's pointing your mind in a direction. I will be aware of my moods. I will notice my triggers. And then once you get that recognition and awareness, then you can decide on an action to take. And when that action may not work or may not work perfectly, then you're going to test. You're going to test the action. You're going to measure the results and you're going to adjust it. And following that pattern and being gentle with yourself, you are going to move forward in your life with medication, without medication. It doesn't matter. But what matters is that you believe in yourself and your ability to make a choice about your mental health care. Thank you for being with me today. And I promise you, if you find a declaration and you start saying it, that will help you manage your moods. And that will help you be more aware and help you ultimately move forward. So thank you for spending some time with me today, and I hope you have a great day. At the end, I'll give you a disclaimer. I am not a licensed counselor or a psychiatrist, psychologist. I am just a person who is diagnosed with bipolar, who has learned many things through education and experience. Thank you.